Yeah. Mira. Kristen Lloyd.
Yes, 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 yes. Test, test, test. Okay. There's no speaker here? ¿No estaba un mic cuando llegaste? No. ¿No? Montarle.
Check, check. Check.
can hear from this.
Check, check.
Welcome all to the Santa Maria Bonita School District meeting today, May 13. It is now 6:04. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cordero,
Here.
Mr. Valencia,
Present.
Mr. Hollinshead,
Present.
Mr. Lara,
Here.
Ms. Cabral.
Present. Closed session, item A, Dr. McDuffie.
Thank you, President Cabral. Just reporting out of closed session, the Board of Education accepted the administrative appointment of Ashley Brown, Elementary Assistant Principal, Tunnel Elementary School. The vote was unanimous. The Board of Education accepted the administrative appointment of Jennifer Quaresma, Elementary Assistant Principal, Alvin Elementary. The vote was unanimous. And the Board of Education accepted the administrative appointment of Taryn Boland, Area Administrator, Liberty Elementary. The vote was unanimous. That's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you. And for items B, C, and D, information was shared. Introduction of interpreters. Our interpreters this evening are Susan Pineda and Benito Flores Ramirez. Greeting and support are provided by Daniel Garcia and Karen Ramirez Espinosa. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Oakley School Elementary. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Oakley School.
Good evening. My name is Judy Rodriguez, and I am a member of Oakley Student Council. Please stand and join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And then Oakley School will be providing tonight's inspiration.
Good evening, board members at SMBSD community. My name is Melanie Toro Medina, and I am Oakley School Student Leadership Representative. Tonight, we have a few students featured for you to see just some of the great things happening at Oakley School. To begin, please welcome Oakley's Advanced Band. Thank you, Oakley's Advanced Band. Next up, you will hear some of the voices of SMBSD's only Spanish language after-school program, A las Raíces. They are here to tell you about their experience piloting the program this year.
Buenas noches. Formamos parte del Club Ales y Raíces de la Escuela Oakley. Este programa es el primero en Santa María que ayuda a los estudiantes a fortalecer su español y a mejorar nuestras oportunidades de ser bilingües. Algo que es muy especial en nuestras vidas. Los pasamos muy bien en la clase y aprendimos mucho. Gracias por brindarnos esta oportunidad este año. Good evening. We are part of Alice E. Rice's Club at Oakley School. This program is the first one in Santa Maria that helps students get stronger in Spanish and to improve our chances to be bilingual. Something that is very special in our life. We had a great time in the class and we learned a lot. Thank you for giving us these chances this year.
Thank you, Alasi Raices. Next up is Joseph Pichardo from Pod Squad.
Good evening. Do you know that a group of dolphins is called a pod? My name is Joseph Pichardo and I am a member of Oakley's Pod Squad. The Pod Squad is a student mentor program where older students at Oakley help younger students who are having a tough time doing their best. We respond to who we are having a tough time doing their best. We respond to students when they are struggling. We may talk with them, give them a break, help them with a classroom task, or enjoy an activity with them. Our goal is to help them feel better so they can continue to learn. Our Pod Squad leaders have helped many students return to class and be the best dolphins they can be. Thank you.
Thank you, Oakley Clubs. Now we would like to entertain you one last time with a number from our Oakley School Cheer Squad.
No, qué pereza. I'm kind of busy.
I'm not gonna promise to upstage that at all. It's not about anything but them, right? Big round of applause for our Oakley Dolphins all the way across the board. Unbelievable. I did though want to give some thanks to some folks who helped to make this happen behind the scenes, and everyone in between. So Pam Danju, our school counselor, who oversees so many of the things that we do at Oakley School and is the recipient of our Excellence in Education Award in the certificated category for all of SMBSD as a school counselor. So big recognition for that. Ms. Janet Herrera, who led the Alas y Raíces after school program that helps to build Spanish language. Muchísimas gracias. Also, how cute was the step stool situation, right? I thought that was great. Tammy Sauerman, who leads our band program at the site. So big round of applause for her and the band that we had. And then Alyssa Tognazzini, Madison Penaflor, our cheer coaches who have been doing this. And then also, just to give a nod to our VAPA teachers as well, Amy Otremba and our librarian who helped to put all these decorations up that you've seen if you came in. And in general, really what makes this happen is all the things we're able to do here in Santa Maria Bonita. So our VAPA teachers, on behalf of TNL Supplemental, thank you all. Our teachers, our certificated staff, our SPED teams, our SPED department, even at the district level, coaches and RTIs, that's TNO Core. So many people who help to put all of this together on a daily basis. Our classified staff, the backbone of what we do, our aides, cafeteria staff, food services, office staff, HR, everybody who's involved in making this happen, we thank you as well. Our MTSS team, Student and Family Services, our families that are, a lot of them here today, thank you all for coming out. Gracias por venir y apoyar a los estudiantes. And through that, multilingual services, our FRC staff, our community school specialists, all of these folks, and those that I failed to mention, I'm sorry, but we love you too and we thank you too. They're the ones that make Oakley School what it is. And we just appreciate the fact that you would give us an opportunity to showcase some of that tonight. Thank you. And this is why when we're at Oakley School, we say, see it, believe it, achieve it. Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it. Oakley School.
Thank you. Thank you to the students. That was very, very great and entertaining. And I'm glad to see what you're doing this whole school year. Next on the agenda is the Student Leader Advisory Team, Ms. Stanley. We're gonna let
All right.
Greetings. My name is Reina Macias. I am from Alvin Elementary and I'm currently in sixth grade. One super cool fact about me is I can find the best in people, and my dad and friends call me a philosopher. Being a student leader has taught me to work and cooperate more effectively within groups. Before I joined the student leadership team, I preferred working alone and hated working in groups. But leadership has taught me to cooperate more efficiently, and now I like working in groups. My goal as a leader is to help with equal voting, being inclusive, and making sure everyone can participate. And as a leader, I can compromise really well. One challenge I have is trying to stay positive when things are tough. The reason I try and stay positive is because my friend group made me the leader of the group even though I didn't ask. And when people are sad, I try and cheer them up. One thing I suggest we change at Alvin School is we adding chocolate milk on Mondays and Thursdays, because some California schools offer chocolate milk, like the San Luis Obispo public schools. One piece of feedback I have for the district is to provide every classroom with recess equipment. That way, each classroom can monitor their equipment. One thing I love about the Santa Maria Bonita School District and my school is the after school programs. And something our school should continue is the Tucker Student Leadership Team, because it's a great opportunity for students to contribute to our school. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Citlali Velasquez, the 8th grade student representative from Jimenez Junior High. As a student leader, I've been practicing my problem solving. Since I've joined this team, one of the biggest and most developed skills we have implemented is working as a team to create solutions to a leadership exercise. In doing these exercises, both my teamwork and problem solving skills have improved. Skills like these are not just important for a leader to have, but they're exceedingly useful for day-to-day life. During my time in this team, I have met new people and participated in activities which involve deeper understanding of how the district and schools function. In doing so, it has given me a profound appreciation and comprehension of the way things work in a school and why. I now have better insight about the leadership roles in our district. In the future, I envision myself continuing to plan fun projects and supervising my ongoing campus beautification project, especially since the school year is nearing its end and I will soon be a high schooler. Because of this, the possibility of challenges remains high since there is still much I would like to do in such a little time. Yet, no matter those challenges, I will use what I have learned here in order to achieve the best outcome. I want to make sure this year ends as a great one. My school, Jimenez, is very festive, which I absolutely love. Not only does it celebrate cultures and ethnicities, but also celebrates holidays, making everyone feel included. We have the Harvest Festival, many spirit weeks, and different event nights. It helps keep families and students involved with the school using fun learning activities. Now, in respect to what I personally believe can be improved in my school are the restroom paper towel dispensers and the water fountains. In the 7th and 8th grade girls' restroom, the automatic paper towel dispenser often breaks, either not working or the paper towels get stuck. In the 7th and 8th grade boys' restroom, they don't even have one. I'm sure students would highly appreciate it if we could resolve this issue. As for the fountains, I've heard many complaints from my peers about its taste and cleanliness. If it is possible, I suggest we add a filtered bottle filling station. In my school, we have one inside the cafeteria, but I think adding one outside would be useful since that is where kids are playing. Moreover, instead of something we can stop, here's something we should start: the use of hands-on interactive learning projects like the mission projects. Doing crafts as a form of learning allows students to actively participate in their schoolwork, making it a fun, interactive, and useful way to get students to engage more positively and think critically through tasks. Before I conclude, I would like to thank all of you for giving students the opportunity to participate in this leadership program. I have learned a lot, and I appreciate all the time and effort our adult leaders have put into this to allow students to grow as young leaders. I hope that you continue this program for the students in the future.
Hello, board members and the audience. My name is Ana Davila Vasquez, and I am a sixth grader at Arianes Elementary School. One of my unique talents is the ability to pick up an instrument and play it. I've been playing the piano for 6 years. I am committed to music, so I also picked up the clarinet 2 years ago, and I hope to begin playing the saxophone in the coming years. For me, it was really difficult to talk or even have a conversation with adults, but since becoming a student leader, I find it so much easier and less challenging. In the past, it would have been really hard for me to do something like this, but now it's something I feel I can do with ease. When Dr. McDuffie performed Dr. Martin Luther King's Jr. speech, the drum major instinct, I realized I wanted to use my voice to make an impact. I wanted to be able to impact someone with something as simple as my voice. I hope to impact my community and home with the skills I have earned, and I am continuing to grow. I hope that every student would want to strive to become a student leader, and I hope that I will be someone at my school that students and teachers can trust. I'm aware that some students have trouble speaking in front of others or have other challenges, so I hope they will want to become student leaders themselves. In our school district, I would like to see the Ballet Folklorico expanded to an after-school program. Currently, the dance program is only offered for about a month at my school, but I would like to see it offered as an after-school program because I saw the impact it had on students. All students socialized, laughed, and enjoyed their time in the one-month program. We want to see more students involved after school so they have a place to hang out with their friends. One thing I would like to change is the current system of discipline. What I mean is, I would like to see students who do not follow the classroom rules receive logical consequences that help students make better choices. Currently, students are only getting warnings for not following the rules, and this is not effective. The same students repeat the same behaviors, so the warnings are not working. One program that needs to continue in SMBSD is our Strong Sports program. Currently, track is very popular and effective because Mr. Porter, our track coach, inspires us to do better. He helps us to see how we are student athletes first and not athlete students. This shows us that our education has to come first. In addition, I would love to see more organized sports at the elementary level. Can you please consider adding flag football and basketball to the elementary sports program? More students could benefit from more sports so they can understand the importance of being student leaders and not athlete students. Thank you for listening to my ideas.
Hello, my name is Melanie Toro. I'm a sixth grader from Oakley Elementary. One fun fact about me is I've played volleyball for my school for 2 years. One leadership skill I have been working on is as a student leader is being able to communicate to people better. I've been improving on this skill by gaining a lot of confidence to speak up. Another thing that helped me improve this skill is the marble run leadership game. In this game, we have to communicate together and work together to try to get the marble into the cup without dropping it. Things we had to do while communicating is making ideas that worked, trying our best to work together, and making sure everyone had their turn while playing. Something I suggest we change about this district is providing elementary schools with gyms. I think we need it because some sports require gyms. For example, in volleyball, the games are in gyms. At school, we can practice skills that could be needed in games, such as sliding and not being afraid to go for the ball. They could also be really useful when it's raining or very cold. I think we should stop letting bullying happening so often. At my school and even at the district, people get bullied. For example, at the district, specific people call other people names because of their looks. At my school, people get bullied whether it's simply being taking a ball or just saying rude things to anyone. One thing that would help is having better supervision. One thing I love about the school is that kids enjoy playing together no matter what the gender. Yes, there's still bullying happening, but we are still a strong community. I would like to take the opportunity to thank my best friend. He has been there for me no matter what and cheers me up whenever I'm upset. I would also like to thank my fifth grade teacher, Miss Espinosa. Miss Espinosa was always there for me and made teaching a lot more engaging. Lastly, I'd like to thank my family for being very supportive and encouraging me to do what I do. Thank you all for giving me an opportunity to express how I feel about our community.
Thank you so much.
Can we please take a picture with the advisory?
Yeah, we can take pictures. And we'll give them a minute or two to head out if that's what they wish. If the students of Oakley and your parents don't want to stay for the rest of the meeting, this is the moment to exit left. All right, then we'll go ahead and continue with our meeting. If someone can close that door. And so next is recognition. We have several special recognitions tonight. We're celebrating National Speech Pathologist Day, National Schooners Day, Classified School Employee Appreciation Week, and Day of the Teacher. We'll start today our recognitions with National Speech Pathologist Day. And who's Mr.? If you can introduce yourself.
How about now? Good. Good evening. My name is Sohrab Movahedi, and I'm a program specialist for special education. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight. May 18th is National Speech Pathologist Day, and I would like to take a moment to recognize our incredible speech and language pathologists. As a program specialist, I've had the privilege of working closely with our SLPs and seeing firsthand the dedication, care, and expertise they bring to our students, staff, and families. Their work goes far beyond speech and language services. They help students communicate, connect with others, access their education, and build confidence. I would also like to recognize our AAC specialist, who is also an SLP. Her role focuses on supporting students with access to communication technology while also providing training and support to staff. This work helps ensure that all students have the opportunity to communicate and have a voice. Our SLPs directly contribute to our district's belief that all people belong, have a voice, and can contribute. Their work truly makes a difference across our district. At this time, I would like to ask our SLPs to please stand so we can recognize you. I think we have one here. Special shout out to Joel Hartwell. Thank you for all the help this year. I really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for your hard work, your advocacy, and your commitment to our students. Thank you.
Thank you. And next is recognizing National School Nurse Day. Is Mr. Palmerston?
Thank you and good evening, President Cabral, Superintendent, board members, and the entire Santa Maria Bonita School District community.
What a privilege it is to stand before you tonight to celebrate the extraordinary contributions of our health services team. I'm Mr. Palmerston, Director of Student Services, and tonight I'm presenting on behalf of Carolyn Kleinsmith, our Program Specialist for Health Services, who is retiring in June after 26 plus years within our district. So on her behalf, I'm thrilled to highlight the invaluable work of our dedicated professionals. This incredible team encompasses our credentialed school nurses, licensed vocational nurses, health assistants, licensed clinical social workers, licensed psychiatric technicians, Health Services Secretary Jennifer Ellsworth, and tonight we shine a spotlight specifically on our licensed nurses and our credentialed school nurses specifically, and their commitment to the health and well-being of our students and staff. I'm eager to introduce you to one of our nurses in the audience, Kelly Kleinsmith, or Kelly Haynes, sorry. Are there any other nurses? I saw Kelly, if there are any other nurses. So Kelly Haynes, school nurse, thank you for being here this evening. Our credentialed school nurses manage the health care of students while they're at school. Currently, we have over 1,300 students who are identified as having health conditions. The school nurses are skilled in assessment, intervention, and case management. They develop care plans, and they are responsible for the implementation of the care plans, progress monitoring of students' health at school, and responsible for all the other members of our school teams in healthcare. Our nurses are members of the IEP, 504, and COST teams at our school sites. Their knowledge and skill links health and education by providing information on how students' complex health conditions impact educational access and participation. And they make recommendations on how to accommodate students' health needs as they can optimally participate in their educational programs. Supporting their work is a team of licensed vocational nurses who tend to the acute care needs and first response needs of our students. On a daily basis, they're performing 20 medical treatments such as diabetic care, G-tubes, feedings, and catheterizations. The LVNs also manage approximately 400 phone calls a month to triage assessments and care needs of our students. In addition, we have licensed psychiatric technicians who are licensed vocational nurses with a mental health specialty. They are our crisis first responders, performing assessments and responses for students who are at risk of harming themselves and others. They participate in helping support safety plans and interventions for at-risk students, and they responded to over 900 risk incidents over the course of the school year. Please join me again in thanking our incredible team of health professionals, both here in person and at home this evening, for their hard work in supporting our students' health and well-being.
Thank you. Thank you, the nurses, for all the support to our students. Next is Classified School Employee Appreciation Week. And
I don't see Melissa Gutierrez. Is there a representative from CSEA or, you know? Okay, so I'm just going to speak and just briefly talk about the fact that CSEA is the backbone of any school organization. And I say that with all sincerity, with the things that we have to do on a daily basis, we couldn't get done without our custodians, our cafeteria workers, our office managers, and our office clerks, along with the maintenance and operations. So I just want to just personally thank classified employees. I've been going out this week. This is my last day of doing anniversary pins. I've been doing those for a few weeks now. And yesterday, I was at, I think it was at Battles Elementary School. And shout out right back there. What say your name? Joel, yes, I gave you your anniversary pin yesterday. 10 years? 10 years. Congratulations. But that's not that's I say that I just remember battles, but there was a cafeteria worker there. And I don't remember her name, but she'd been serving at battles for 20 years. And I gave her her anniversary pin, and she started crying. She's 71 years old, and she comes to work each and every morning, and she has to come to work at 9 o'clock. She doesn't start until 10, but she comes to work, she sits in her car, and she waits because she doesn't want to be late to work. And the dedication that she shows to the students of Santa Maria cannot be overstated. The love that she provides to our students cannot be overstated. And that goes for our office staff. It goes for our paras, our bilingual instructional aides, all of those employees who are in our classified association do such a tremendous job. And I'm just very proud to be a part of Santa Maria and just appreciate our classified employees. That's all I have.
Thank you. And next is Day of the Teacher. And I think Kristen, Laura, Ms. Laura.
Good evening. President Cabral, thank you for having me today. Dr. McDuffie, board. Today, as we celebrate Day of the Teacher, we are reminded that public education is and always has been the cornerstone of our democracy. Within the walls of our schools, we're building the foundations for success, not just for our students as just individuals, but for the future of our entire society. At the center of this work are our educators, educators and nurses, because I also have a presentation for nurses, but the nurses and educators as a whole are the heart of nurturing our students and setting them up for thriving, not just surviving. It's up to for us to help them thrive. I think that I wanted to loop in the myriad of activities that all educators do. It's a huge wide net of educators, and I don't want to miss any roles, but whether you're a teacher, psychologist, speech pathologist, nurse, extended support professional, BCBA, there's a lot of other credentialed professionals I probably did not mention, but they're all members and also the CSEA members too, dedicated members of our school staffs. And they do definitely play a vital role and an irreplaceable role really in the lives of our young people, as you just indicated with the woman, the wonderful woman at Battles. So in Santa Maria Bonita, we take immense pride in the fact that we welcome and support every single student who walks through our doors. We don't try to take down as many barriers as we can to elevate them, regardless of their zip code, their background, their story, whatever it is that they come into that building with. There are no barriers for us. We see them as children and students ready to learn. In our union of SMEA, we don't just celebrate this work, we actually have to fight for it. Every day we're advocating for greater investment in public education, both here in our district and across the state. We know that our students' learning conditions, our members' working conditions, are both of these deserve the highest priority. How do you have a highest priority on such a big net? Well, you do it through advocacy, you do it through conversations, you do it through collaboration. And that's what we found in the past that works the best. This year, once again, SMEA celebrates the incredible contributions that every one of these certificated and classified people have brought into the system. Thank you for your grit, your passion, and your unwavering commitment to our students. Happy Day of the Teacher to SMEA members and all educators.
Thank you.
Do you want me to wait till the part about the nurses till later? No, that was the one I just did. Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and do the nurses as well? This is part of the appreciation, so then we can just we'll be going into public comments.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay,
Go to the
so
president.
today is,
Wait, yeah, we still need to do, there's one more appreciation recognition.
okay,
Okay, Ms. Danley, we're recognizing the teacher residency program this evening.
Good evening, board members, President Cabral, Dr. McDuffie, and members of cabinet. It is my honor and privilege to be here to celebrate this moment. We'd like to congratulate our 2026 SMBSD Pathways to Teaching residents on completing their credentials. This is our third cohort of multiple subject with bilingual authorization graduates and very exciting, our very first graduating cohort of education specialists. As you know, this program is an 18-month, extremely rigorous program where the residents spend their full day in classrooms and their full evenings here at the Sousa Center, being students themselves. They come from our district, they come from our community, and we are so grateful to get to support them in their journey of becoming a teacher. They will have their credential ceremony in Thousand Oaks on May 21st, but we wanted to celebrate them this evening and have the opportunity to share this huge accomplishment with all of you here tonight. So I'd like to call them one by one by their name. They're in the very back. So if you would stand when you hear your name, and then we have a nice backdrop to bring them all up and take a congratulations picture if we could. Our multiple subject with bilingual authorization candidates include Erica Garcia Aceves, Denise Pitacua, Viridiana Gutierrez, Paulina Garcia, Francisco Arce Esparza, Delma Gomez, Miriam Isidra, Cynthia Cook, Araceli Garcia, Giselle Bravo, Naomi Mao, Isaac Gonzalez, Eleonora Cervantes, and the following will be finishing their education specialist credentials. We have Amanda Castaneda, Julia Veglia, Mallory Soares, Cynthia Smith, Nuha Sood, Jose Alonso, Derek Orlick, and last but not least, Miss Melissa Segura. Congratulations, and this is a little practice for you for next week. One more round of applause. Sure.
Congratulations to all of you.
Is it your mom?
Are they?
Yeah.
Are they?
Yes. Stop, Cindy. Thank you so much.
All right. Yeah. All right, now we're moving on to public comment, open session. Public comments are intended for members of the public to address the board on items involving the school district. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per person, 450 words, and 50 minutes total per topic. If an answer to a specific question is requested, the board president may, if appropriate, direct the administration to respond in writing. Just a friendly reminder to our speakers this evening, please deliver your remarks at a moderate pace to enable our interpreters to provide accurate interpretation. Speaking too quickly may compromise the accuracy of the comments of our listening audience. Do we have public comment on non-agenda items this evening?
Yes, we do. And our first is Kristen Lohr, president of SMEA, and this is a public comment / appreciation as well.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. I forgot to say, Kristen Lohr, President Samia, thank you so much again. So today is Florence Nightingale's birthday, and this culminates the end of almost a month-long celebration for nurses, healthcare professionals. It just goes to show us that here I go again with the heart metaphor, that the heart of a school doesn't just beat in the classroom, it beats in the health office and every space where our specialists work together. And who wouldn't love a cuttlefish because they have lots of hearts? So just like we're an organism of amazing people, so is the cuttlefish with lots of hearts. So I figured we could have more hearts all the time. I want to share a perspective on the vital role our nurses do play. Sometimes our nurses come to us with some deep concerns regarding complexities of after-hours care and field trips. While these might seem like procedural hurdles, I want to offer a different lens for you tonight. When our nurses advocate for involvement in field trip planning, they're advocating for student safety, which translates into amazing experiences and lasting memories for our students. As barriers for participation are being removed, this is only accomplished through their specialized medical lens that ensures a child with complex health plan can experience the joy of an extended day or an overnight field trip with confidence. Their advocacy stems from a place of deep integrity. They don't just see a care plan, they see a child's life, a family's trust, and a district's responsibility. The glimmer of hope tonight in this time of them being so concerned about the welfare of their students after hours is we have a nursing staff that refuses to be indifferent. We have nurses who are so committed to the whole child, they stand up for the best interests of students every single day and 24 hours a day. That is the soul of nursing. It's the bridge between medical diagnoses and school day. That could be a regular day or one that's over an extended period of time. They're the partners our teachers rely on so that education can happen without fear. Our nurses may manage chronic illnesses and support mental health, ensuring our most vulnerable students are ready to learn. They take the weight of physical well-being onto their shoulders so that our teachers can focus on the students' minds. And this also goes with the plethora of other support staff that was brought to your attention earlier by Dr. Palmerston was giving credence to all of the people that make the healthcare system work in our district. As we also celebrate the Day of the Teacher, we must remember that the educator is a broad and beautiful term. Our school nurses are essential partners who stand shoulder to shoulder with our teachers, counselors, psychologists, and all certificated support teams. To our Santa Maria Bonita nurses, we see you. We know the loads you carry and the clinical excellence you provide. You are the safety net that allows our students to fly. On behalf of SMEA, thank you for being the steady hand and the compassionate heart of our district. Their work goes far beyond ice and Band-Aids. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have Kelly Hargett.
I didn't know I was speaking. So I am the director of our all junior high musical, which I think is the first that we've ever done with all of our junior highs together. And I am proud to have them come and perform a little number from Seussical the Musical. So just really quickly, we'd like to invite anyone and everyone. The admission is free to Tommy Kuntz Multipurpose Room. Next Friday is opening night. We open the doors at 5:30. The show goes on at 6 p.m. We also have a matinee on Saturday at 11 a.m. and an evening performance at 5 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was fun.
I'm starting to like public comment.
Like, yeah. More public comments like that.
We have one more. We have one more public comment.
Song and dance?
Carol Mitsus. Sorry that you have to follow the music.
What will you be performing tonight?
Comment. I'll let them leave. I mean, just. This one here, the red one? What's that? Okay. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. I'm just following up on the Measure K from last month. Mr. Beecher gave a very comprehensive and informative presentation on it. I appreciated that. The length of it didn't really allow for the time. Ms. Cordero and Mr. Hollinshead were able to speak. I don't think Mr. Lara or President Cabral had a chance, and Mr. Valencia was not here. But I'd like to kind of have the ability for you guys to come back in a public way to talk about it so I can hear, so that the community can hear what you all think about Measure K's funds being used. Last night, I had the pleasure or honor, really, of being keynote speaker at PK Literacy Program graduation for the parents at Bonita School. And I asked the principal to give me a tour of the school. And I was very dismayed at the living conditions that we ask our students and staff to live in out there, especially in light of the fact that we passed a bond, this community passed a bond with money appropriated really in the spirit of remediating, repairing, and modernizing the facilities in existence. And it seems like the board's decision is to spend all this money on new construction. And as you heard from these students tonight about their desires for things like water stations and, not having gyms and things at their own school, I just really would hope that this governance team would take a step back and really look at, you have these wonderful, amazing programs with these beautiful children and this dedicated staff. And I know that you want to provide them a home in order to provide these services and these academics for these students. So I think really the board, I just urge you guys to take a step back and look at this, because I think you're not really wisely spending these Measure K dollars. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all the comments we have.
Do we have any comments on agenda items?
No, we do not.
All right. Item 9, approval of agenda as presented. Are there any questions regarding the agenda items this evening? And if not, can I have a motion?
I'll second.
It's been moved by Mr. Hollinshead, second by Mrs. Cordero, to approve the agenda as presented. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cordero?
Aye.
Mr. Valencia?
Aye.
Mr. Hollinshead?
Aye.
Mr. Lara?
Aye.
Ms. Cabral?
Aye. Motion passes. Item 10, presentation and discussion items, Santa Maria Bonita School District Staff Diversity Report. Dr. Bland.
Well, good evening, board, President Cabral, Dr. McDuffie, audience members, those of you that are still here and want to hear me. Thank you very much. Tonight, I'll be sharing our annual staff diversity report and some of the ongoing work that's connected to our recruitment, retention, and workforce development. This is now the third year that I've brought this information forward, and one thing that we've really tried to focus on is not only reporting our data, but also sharing the actions and the strategies that behind the work. So first thing I asked myself, or we ask, is why does this matter? And at the core of this work is the impact on our students. Research, as I shared before in the last couple of years, research consistently shows that students benefit academically and socially when they see themselves reflected in the adults that are serving them. This is also about belonging for our students, our staff, and our families. And as a district, we want to be sure, we want everyone to feel that they're connected, supported, and represented. So the guiding question for us continues to be, how well do we serve our workforce, or how well does our workforce, how well does our workforce reflect the students and our families that we serve? First, our work is tied directly to our district's beliefs and strategic plan. In particular, the beliefs around belonging, equity, cultural diversity, and service continue to guide our approach. This is not separate from our strategic plan, but it's embedded within it. I'm not going to go and read them all through tonight for you, but our beliefs continue to serve as the foundation for how we approach our recruitment and our retention. Our strategic focus, our slide on strategic focus continues to center around around four major areas. First is our recruitment of attracting highly qualified staff. Second is our retention and ensuring that people want to stay and grow within SMBSD. Third is building an internal pathway through our grow our own efforts. And fourth is reducing barriers within our hiring system and our processes. In the next few slides here, I'll provide updated demographic information related to our students and our workforce. Much of this data comes from DataQuest, Escape, and Aries, which through a DataQuest and all that is data that we have to certify with the state of California. And so this is our most up-to-date certified information or data that we have. So our first slide here gives a snapshot of the size of our organization. And currently, SMBSD serves more than 17,000 students with over 2,200 employees across certificated, classified, management, and our confidential positions. This highlights both the scale of our district and the importance of maintaining strong recruitment pipelines. Our student demographic slides provides updated student demographic information, and as you can see, our student population remains overwhelmingly Hispanic or Latino at just over 95%. This context is important as we continue evaluating our workforce representation and our recruitment efforts. This slide compares our student demographics along with our certificated, classified, and management staffing demographics. One thing we continue to monitor is the alignment between our student population and our workforce. We continue to see growth in our Hispanic and Latino representation among our certificated staff over time, though there is still a gap when compared to our student demographics. Our classified staffing continues to more closely represent or reflect our community that we serve. And this slide also provides, as we've broken out this year, also provides a broader look at our leadership management representation across the organization. This current table here shows a 5-year analysis trend analysis of our certificated workforce demographics. One of the most notable shifts over time has been the steady increase in our Hispanic and Latino certificated staff. At the same time, we've also seen a gradual decrease in the percentage of our white certificated staff. These changes reflect both our intentional recruitment efforts and our evolving workforce demographics. Our certificated 5-year graph visually highlights the trend over the last 5 years. With the increase in our Hispanic and Latino certificated staff continues upward, but this is not the result of just one initiative. It reflects multiple recruitment and retention and workforce development efforts over a period of time. It also reinforces the importance of continuing to invest in long-term workforce pipelines. This slide provides some staffing gender information on our gender demographics across our different employee groups. As expected in education, our workforce remains predominantly female overall. One area that remains important to monitor is continued recruitment of our males into education, particularly within our certificated roles. These next couple slides will provide information regarding where our employees reside throughout the Central Coast region. A significant portion of our employees continue to reside within Santa Maria. And at the same time, we continue drawing employees from neighboring communities throughout Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo counties. This reinforces both the regional nature of our educator recruitment and the importance of remaining competitive remaining competitive as an employer. It also highlights why local workforce development efforts are so important for our long-term stability. The percentage breakdown on the next slide here also highlights the same staffing patterns within our communities, particularly between certificate and classified employees, but it puts it into a percentage information for you. So I also think about what progress have we made since the last year. One piece of feedback that we reflected on from previous years was the importance of not only presenting the demographic information, but also sharing what are we doing actively and doing, or what are we actively doing in response. So over the last year, we've continued expanding our recruitment accessibility efforts. We've increased community-based recruitment opportunities and continued streamlining the processes for our applicants. We've also continued growing our pathways to teaching and residency program and strengthening our internal recruitment efforts. And a major focus that we've had on reducing barriers that can be unintentionally discouraging for our applicants from entering our process. On this slide, I want to highlight some of the practical strategies that we're currently implementing. Sorry, the font's a little small. But we've expanded our presence at community events like the Strawberry Festival, our Classified Job Expo that we hold here at Sousa. We are also going over to Allen Hancock for some pop-up career fairs. We've worked at making hiring more accessible through on-site TV screening and one-stop shop hiring opportunities, especially during our Classified Job Expo. We've also streamlined our portions of our hiring process through our frontline application process, and also through posting simultaneously for positions when we're looking at outside applicants and inside applicants for our classified positions. And a continued focus has been on improving both efficiency and accessibility for applicants. We're also continuing to use survey feedback from our recruitment data to better target our future outreach efforts. And it's helped us decide which career fairs and university events to attend as we plan for the upcoming years. This next area is one of the most important long-term strategies that we have, and we heard a little bit about it this evening already. But we're not only recruiting talent. We are not only recruiting talent into SMBSD, but we're intentionally developing talent from within our own community. Our partnership with the Cal Lutheran University through our Pathways to Teaching Residency program continues to grow and remain strong. We continue meeting our target goal of maintaining at least 20 participants or 20 candidates in the program, and we currently have 20 candidates participating for next year. That includes 15 multiple subject candidates with bilingual authorizations and 5 ed specialist candidates. Of those candidates, 4 are male candidates, which continues to support our area of focus around increasing our male representation in education. Additionally, 2 of our ed specialist candidates are bilingual, which is especially important as we continue strengthening our supports in the multilingual learners and specialized programs. One of the strengths of this model is that employees are able to continue working and earning the income while they're completing their credential program, which I know we heard about a little bit ago. And this helps remove financial barriers as that can sometimes prevent individuals from entering the profession. Ultimately, this work is about sustainability, developing future educators from within our own community who understand and reflect our students and our families that we serve. So a few key takeaways. Overall, we continue seeing positive movement in several key areas. Our workforce diversity continues to improve gradually over time. Our recruitment and retention strategies are helping strengthen our internal pipelines. And at this time, we recognize that this work is long-term and requires continued investment in the workforce development and retention. Thank you, and I am here for any questions you may have.
Thank you very much. One of the questions that I've got from community members recently is what is the representation of Latinos in our assistant principals and our principal positions? Did you have any data on that specifically, like disaggregated, so that we could see the percentage of Latino representation for our principals and assistant principals?
Let me go back here. I have it here on this slide, shows for our management staff. It doesn't necessarily break it out for, let's say, principals or assistant principals.
So the concern that I'm hearing in the community is why is there such a lack of Latino representation when it comes to our principals and our assistant principals? How would you answer that question?
We are continuing to try and make efforts to broaden our diversity within our applicants, and then based on there, we go on, we look at qualifications and who is qualified for the, qualified position, and we go through the interview process for everybody. Our goal is to broaden and increase the diversity of our applicant pool. We don't know when when people apply what their ethnicity is, and especially when we're going through the application process. It's not until we show up at an interview and those kinds of things, and then we're going purely on experience and work experience and their interview and all that.
And in terms of the applicant pool, is there certain universities that we tend to draw from, or are we proactively going to say like Hispanic serving institutions where we're going to be more likely to find Latino applicants?
Our focus really is throughout the state. I know that we focus on going to Fresno State. We go down to Bakersfield. We're also at the CTA conference where we kind of have, I know Andrea Alvarez is all up and down the state during the month of February and March, and she's on a road show, so to speak. I'm glad she's actually here right now. But we really try and diversify all the different universities we go to. But again, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, is we're gathering that information from surveys from our applicants so that we can kind of see also who are we hiring, where are we getting applicants from? Because we want to know which universities and which conferences to go to help them recruit from also, right? And that's part of that is also looking at the diversity as well too.
And then a follow-up question is, when it comes to like the hiring committees, I've seen research that says that if the group of folks that are doing the hiring are a diverse group, then you're more likely, right, to get diverse applicants. And unfortunately, if it's not a diverse group, if it's a homogeneous group, say like it's all white folks doing the hiring, we tend to get mostly all typically white candidates. And it's not always intentional, right? It's what's called implicit bias. But regardless, the outcomes are the same, right? We end up with a staff that's not as diverse as it should be. And so how diverse are the hiring committees that are hiring our staff?
We do intentionally try to work to make diverse, whether it's male or female, and other diversities as well too. Sometimes it does come down to who's available to come and participate in a panel as well too. But I know that when we're looking at our panels especially on all of our panels, I should say, not just, let's say, for administrators, but for all of our panels, we try and look at the diversity of who's on our panel, so that we bring those different lenses, we bring those different backgrounds and those different experiences, because everybody is going to be, you're going to be listening to one applicant, but you're all going to be hearing something, different based on your experiences and the lens you bring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm really appreciative of us being more mindful, right, of this, because we know that talent is equally distributed, right? All cultures, all backgrounds, but we know that opportunity is not always equally distributed. So if we are not intentional with, like what was pointed out, removing barriers, then there will continue to be barriers. And so I invite, all of our staff to partner with us in this endeavor at all levels, because I can assure you that it is a value in our community. And I want to continue to make, great strides, right? So that our community leaders better reflect, right, our community, because everybody wins, right, when we have a diverse staff. And so I'm looking forward to continuing to partner with everyone to make that happen. Thank you.
Yeah, and kind of in that similar vein, I was wondering about the barriers that you have identified to Mr. Valencia's point in our Latino or Hispanic candidates for management positions, as well as our female candidates. Because one of the most dramatic things reflected in the data you've shared is the huge number of females or women on staff as teachers, and yet almost the flip-flop of that in managerial or positions of management. And so I was just wondering if you've identified barriers in that respect that you've worked on removing. Maybe you can elucidate what some of those are, or if we have things, supports in place where we've encouraged those folks to move into management positions, maybe akin to our pipeline or what have you.
So specifically speaking in management, I know that we do have our aspiring administrators program, and which is predominantly female. And as a couple of us, but I know I presented at, and it's predominantly female. And there are a couple males in there, but it's predominantly female. And I think that's a great pipeline for our aspiring administrators to move into administration and get that first step or some of that experience and kind of, learn how it's going or what it might be like to be an administrator. I think that during the application process, again, it's really looking at how do we increase our diversity in the applicants that we get? Because again, we also don't ask, are you male or female during that time? And then it's really going off of based on qualifications and then that along with having a diverse panel as well too. And then those discussions are part of our considerations as well too, when we're deliberating whether it's a teacher applicant or whether it's administrator and it's round one or round two, those discussions are in there as well too.
Yeah, and I did want to compliment you and thank you for the clarification or telling us about identifying pools and universities or colleges where we can get those applicants from, because I think, when we started this process several years ago or started looking at it more intently or intentionally, we drew from local universities primarily, and the population of who we were getting was pretty homogeneous and not necessarily reflective of who we are, and thus we started the pipeline. So I think I appreciate the fact that we're looking at, or you guys have taken the steps to be innovative and look at that kind of data that's reflective and where that pool is going to come from. And then, like you said, how that affects us and fills those positions. So thank you for doing that.
I gotta say, I gotta hand it to Andrea. I mean, she's gone from like mid-February through the end of March, and along with keeping up on duties here. But she's gone, and as much as selfishly speaking, as much as it's like losing my right arm, but it pays off, and she's doing a great job out there, and she's all up and down the state.
And then as a follow-up question, do we have any goals in mind? Like I appreciate Mr. Hollins's point about looking at women in management, right? So have we talked about goals or targets that we have so that we can better measure, right, our progress?
It's really looking at the data in terms of looking at our data in reports like this, and then also looking at looking at our applicants and looking at our surveys that we get of who's applying and where they're applying from so that we can better target, go out to those places and target as well too. And again, in how we market ourselves too. And so when we're able to show data like this also helps. We want to make ourselves attractive to outside applicants by being able to show that these are intentional efforts. We want to be able to, you know, present or share this data with our potential applicants as well too, so they can see what we stand for, what our mission is, what our goals are, what our strategic plan is.
Yeah, and that's something that I would want the team to go back to the drawing board about is what are our goals, right? So that we can continue to make progress. Like I'm seeing steady increases in the teaching, you know, but not necessarily so much in the administrative roles. And so I want to see like targets. What is our goals, right? How will we know that we've gotten more successful? So that at least within the next 3 years, let's say we want to have a, you know, representation of 50%, right, of our management will be women, a ratio of women to men, right? Or you know, and of course within the law, right? Because I know that there's certain restrictions, but I also know that, you know, the research is quite clear that our students and our community benefit from a diverse staff. And so I want you all on your team to go back and develop some goals so that we can have something to shoot for and, you know, make those goals that we can shoot for that are good, high goals, but that are accomplishable goals. That's something that I would like to see as follow-up.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Board Member Valencia, appreciate that. And definitely something when we look at the data, as Dr. Bland mentioned, that it's important that we do look at that and say, okay, we want to increase by a certain percentage. And that's a goal that we want to do. And so what we can do within our annual report is to be able to say, hey, we want to increase by 5% or by 3% based upon previous data, what would that look like and what would be realistic in kind of doing that, and then pushing the envelope as well.
That's right.
And so that's maybe something we can provide within our next report next year.
I appreciate that.
I would just comment regarding that. In lieu of the current political climate, I think we need to be very careful about identifying such goals. Threats of cuts in funding and so forth regarding some of those issues kind of float around.
Mr. Hollinshead?
I'm okay with identifying those as priorities. The question that I had, I forgot. So there.
Okay.
Sorry. I had it. It was right there. I think my wife has it.
Carol? Okay, if no further questions, and we can go ahead and acknowledge receipt of the SMBSD. Oh, he remembered. Oof, save.
Saved by the bell. The school bell. I guess my question would be, you know, oftentimes when we look at where we stand on things, we do a comparative analysis of like districts. Is that something maybe we could do in this case? Or are there statistics out there that kind of bear something out like that? Like, you know, if we're going to set goals, we need to draw from a lot of different sources of data or comparative data. So is that something that's possible, just to kind of say, oh, look, you know, this is a comparative, that's a comparison to a like district or several like districts?
Yeah, that information is doable. And I think, you know, that like
Is
I
it
said,
helpful?
Yeah, it could be helpful. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Great. Well, thank you. And the board acknowledges the receipt of the SMBSD Staffing Diversity Report as presented. Thank you, Dr. Blunt. And moving on to item 11, consent items. Actions proposed for the consent agenda are consistent with the adopted policies and approved district practices and are deemed routine. They will be acted in one motion without discussion unless a board member requests that an item be removed. Are there any questions regarding the consent items? Anybody want to remove any item? May I have a motion to approve the consent item as presented?
So moved.
It's been moved by Mr. Hollenshead and second by Mr. Valencia to approve the consent item as presented. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cordero? Mr. Valencia?
Aye.
Mr. Hollenshead?
Aye.
Mr. Lara?
Aye.
Ms. Cabral?
Aye. Motion passes. Item 12, action items. Authorization to enter a sole source agreement with Speeds Oil Tool Service, Inc. for the procurement and delivery of fill dirt for the Blosser Ranch School project. Mr. Beecher, yeah. We'll have you-
Good evening,
Mr.
board members.
Forgot your last name.
Dr. McDuffie, Cabinet. So tonight I am here with a sole source agreement for your review and your consideration. The sole source is for the procurement and delivery of fill dirt for the Blosser Ranch Measure T school project. The estimated contract amount is around $2 million. So we have a local supplier who is able to provide the quantity that we need for our project. We also have material that has been tested in the past and used on school construction projects, which is really good. The location of this fill material is around the Arianes vicinity off of Black Road. It's about 8 miles from the project site. So it's really important that we have a single source for this material because it ensures consistency with our compaction and our testing. We have a schedule that we're sticking to right now. This is a critical component to our schedule. It's on our critical path, and we're hoping to start construction before the end of the year. We do have, it is in our favor that this is locally sourced, so we are saving a significant amount of money in transportation. And then we have a competing market in our area. So we have private developers who are also in need of fill material. Securing the supply now mitigates future risks of shortages or escalating prices. So the picture above there shows the source of soil that we're seeking. We're looking for about 100,000 cubic yards of fill material for the Measure K project. Just to provide some context to what this operation would look like is roughly around 12 to 15 trucks hauling material for 8 to 10 hours a day for about 6 to 10 weeks. Soil is needed for our project to be able to bring the building pads up to elevation so that we're out of our floodplain. We're looking at between 3 to 5 feet of infill. And if approved tonight, our next steps will be to have the soil tested and ensure that a stockpile of the material is set aside for when we need it. And with that, I'll open up to any questions.
We're just looking at soil testing. The ship button. No, mine doesn't work. That's why I gotta speak loud. That's why I've been yelling. No, it's okay. I told Brian, I think the battery pack might be bad. I got you. As far as the soil, has it been tested or are we waiting to have it tested before we start fully?
So it has been tested in the past. I believe we've used it for our Libin elementary project. Other school districts in this area have also used it. We will have to test it though for our project just because DTSC requires it.
Okay. Secondly, I forgot, Mr. Beecher, when we thinking possibly we'll be able to start this project? Hopefully.
So starting construction, we would hope
Or-
to start in September of this year, September of 2026, in order to give us the time we need to begin construction and finish construction to open the school in the 28-29 school year.
So the bringing of the dirt would start prior to September or September forward?
That'll be our first mode of action. We're looking to provide a bid package for the earthwork portion of the work. So we'll just contract with an earthwork contractor to be able to bring in this material, put in the utilities, build the pads to finish grade, and then we'll have 2 other contractors come in after that.
I was just wondering when it's gonna start being, if I'm thinking right off of Black Road, if it did happen to start during raining season, I don't know if you'd be able to get in and out, but seems like this may be starting sooner.
Yeah, our hope would be that we do get in and start this work before the rainy season. It will make it a lot easier for us.
Thank you.
Mr. Valencia?
When it says sole source agreement, does that mean that there were not any other like bidders on the project? And yeah, what's the answer?
Yeah, so this is, I have been working for the last couple months with our testing labs, with contractors in our area, trying to identify a source with this quantity of material that we need for our project. And this is the only one that I've been able to find. So we don't have a lot of stockpile material just sitting around. Fortunately, again, this is really close to our project and it works out for this project for us. So yes, this did not go through a competitive bid process. But again, it's limited. We're limited in who can provide this material for us.
And since there was no other bids, how did you find out if this is like a competitive bid or reasonable bid?
So
Or sole agreement?
in my research for this, and again, talking with many contractors, labs, we're looking at typically for material in this type of operation, you're looking at $18 to $22 a cubic yard right now. And this price still needs to be negotiated. I think there's a lot of variables, especially fuel right now in the trucking industry. But we're around $19, which to me is a fair price for this material in this operation.
Thank you.
Yeah, hopefully fuel costs come down.
Yeah.
Incur. Anybody else have any questions, comments? Nope. All right. Then can I get a motion, for the action item?
I'll make it the Board of Education approve a sole source agreement with Speeds Oil Tool Service, Inc. for the procurement and delivery of field dirt for Gloucester School project as presented.
I'll second.
Thank you. It's been moved by Mr. Lara and second by Mr. Valencia that the Board of Education approve a sole source agreement with Speed Oil's Tool Service, Inc. for the procurement and delivery of fill dirt for the Gloucester School District project, the school project, as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Absent? Motion passes. 4-2, absent. Item B, no, yeah. Oh. At this time, I call the public hearing for the Santa Maria Bonita School District to order to receive public comment on the approval of fees for development projects pursuant to Government Code Section 65995, Level 2. The time is 7:41. Dr. McDuffie, do we have any public comments?
No, we do not.
If no further comments, I'll close the public hearing. Time is 7:41. Okay. Item C, adopt resolution 2519, fees on development projects pursuant to Government Code Section 65995, Level 2. Mr. Beecher.
Thank you very much, President Cabral. I'm happy to share with the school board tonight some information about our process to charge an alternate fee on residential development to help provide resources for us to construct and reconstruct school facilities. Just a little bit of background information. Level 2 fees are an alternative fee only on new residential construction, so it's not on commercial and it's not on remodeling. It's only new from the ground up construction for residential properties. The fee is intended to represent 50% of what a school has to pay in order to create school facilities. It's applicable, let's see. And so what it is more particular to the specific school assessing the fee. I mentioned at the last board meeting when we were talking about level 1 fees, that's more of a statewide fee. Schools like ours that have a greater need demonstrated through this process, a greater need have this alternative fee that's substantially higher that we can charge. But because it's specific to us and because it's substantially higher, we have to go through the process of qualifying for it more frequently. So every single year, we do the school facility needs analysis. And the report that you were provided documents all of the necessary components of that justification. So there's a lot of words on here, but these are the pieces of the puzzle that fit together that show the district's qualification for level 2 fees. What's most important is that in that section 3, we have to satisfy 2 of those 4 qualities. General obligation bond in the last 4 years with a 50% vote. We did have that experience in 2024 with Measure K, so we qualify under B. We have to have issued debt or incurred obligations equaling 15% of the district's bonding capacity, and we're at about 42% with Measure T and Measure K indebtedness. And then we actually qualify in 3 of those 4 ways. We have relocatable classrooms in use of more than 20% at about 23.98%. And then we have to prepare this report and then follow a bunch of procedures, sequences and timing. Ms. Cornejo and Ms. Mota both know these really well because it takes a lot of focus, and they both got to do it in our service area for a number of years, doing a great job making sure that we're here tonight with all of those needs met. And now Ms. Cuellar is doing that on our behalf now. So there is a lot of data and tables and numbers and maps in this report, and I'm not sharing those all with you tonight, but just some of the bigger summaries of that data. We need to look at when we build new homes in the city of Santa Maria, how many children do we expect 5 years later to come to kindergarten? How many of those children are going to enroll in our schools so that we know when we build that home, we have to create school facilities for them. And the calculation is very specific that our consultant uses. He actually uses ARIES data, student addresses connected to the addresses of past permits that have been completed, and knows exactly how many children come from new construction 5 years later. And so when we've been in disputes with home builders in the past, that conversation has gone very well because it's very precise. It's not really an estimate. But we do get about 0.28 students out of every new home that's built in Santa Maria, every new home. So with that math, you'll have at least 1 child if you build 4 homes. We also have to estimate how many new homes we expect to be built in the next 5 years. So that's documented in the report. And that gives us our estimate of how many children will come from those new homes that we have to plan for and can use this process to assess fees for. And that total in 5 years is that there will be 990 new homes built. There's more that are planned for, right? The city plans for many more than those, but 990 we expect will be built in the next 5 years, generating about 279 new students. We have to estimate all the costs that it will take to create the facilities for those children. There are very exciting calculations. I used to spend some time on that in this presentation, and I don't anymore. I'm sorry. I know you'd love to, but the total is about 7.4 million when you throw in construction, land acquisition, and site development. That comes from a base need of about 4.7 million. I should have said 7.4. I don't think I did though. 4.7 in the base need, about 750,000 in land acquisition and site development at about 1.3. Now those numbers are kind of small, and that's because we'll build a school for 700, 800, 900 children, but only 279 will come from new homes. So this is really just an estimate for a portion of what a new school will cost because it's only for the 279 that will come from the homes that are built in the next 5 years. And then you grab all of the square feet that you plan to build. Those 990 homes will have maybe 1,700 square feet in them each. So you total out the whole, the number of square feet you expect, 944,000. You compare that to the total costs, and that mathematically calculates what your per square foot cost needs to be for level 2 in order to house those children when they come from those new homes. And that's $7.17 for level 2. One of the things I bring back to the school board every year, because this is really interesting information to me in particular, this is that student yield rate that I talked about, the 0.28 children per new home built in Santa Maria. That's what that rate has been since 2009-10, when it was close to 0.7 children, more than double what it is today. And it has slid down, kind of got caught up and then slid down again over time. And so we saw many more children coming from new construction in the 2009-10 era versus now. So that's an important number to keep an eye on. And I always want to make sure and share that trend with the school board so that we don't ever lose sight of what's changing within our community as we're building new homes. So with the report that was shared, created by our consultant, the district does meet the requirements for each nexus and is justified in charging $7.17 per square foot. It used to be $7.02. And then once this item, if it's approved tonight, it will go into effect immediately tomorrow morning. Are there any questions?
This does go with it. ADUs as well, right?
Correct. Any development of less than 500 square feet is exempt from fees. But if you create ADU, a new home, that is 525 square feet, all 525 square feet are assessed that fee.
Yeah, 595 are going to be assessed.
Thank you.
And that includes apartment buildings or?
Correct.
Oh,
Yeah, anything inside of the building footprint for an apartment building, the hallways and everything, if it's inside the building footprint, they pay a fee on that as well. It's always a question. And my understanding is a garage is inside of the building footprint, but a carport is not. Now, if you convert a carport, I don't know what you do. If you get a permit, you're probably paying fees. Unless it's under 500 feet, in which it's exempt. There are so many fun questions to answer. As you go through the ways that people remodel their homes, as they strategize ADUs if they're doing them, and we get really good questions from our development and contractor community, and we are really careful when we answer them. Pause, slow down, and try and give good answers so that we don't focus just on collecting the fees, but we focus on being fair to everyone. We try to be fair to the contractor. We try to be fair to the family that may move into that home and bring a child to our schools. We have to be fair to everyone.
great. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion to adopt resolution 25-19, fees on development projects pursuant to government code section 65995 level 2 is presented.
Thank you. It's been moved by Mr. Lara and second by Mrs. Cordero that the Board of Education adopt resolution 2519, fees on development projects pursuant to government code section 65995 level 2 as presented. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cordero?
Aye.
Mr. Valencia?
Aye.
Mr. Hollenshead?
Aye.
Mr. Lara? Ms. Cabral?
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Moving along to item D in action, adoption of resolution 2524. We'll take a break and reconvene at 8 o'clock. It is now 8 o'clock. Ooh, I'm done. And so we'll continue with our meeting. I just wanted to ask the board, the next few resolutions we'll be adopting are ones that we've already offered recognitions to. And I was gonna see if we were okay with just moving through with them and reading out maybe just the Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. If we all agree with that? Okay, thank you. And so item D, adopt resolution 2524, National Speech Pathologist Day. Dr. McDuffie?
Thank you, President Cabral. National Speech Pathologist Day, observed on May 18th,
Say it 3 times.
is a special opportunity to acknowledge the work of speech pathologists in helping students overcome communication, language, and cognitive development challenges. This day recognizes the critical role speech pathologists play in enhancing the learning environment and ensuring that students have equal access to educational opportunities. The attached resolution honors the vital contributions of speech pathologists in delivering high-quality services to our students. By acknowledging their efforts, we affirm our commitment to supporting all learners and ensuring equitable access to education.
Any questions or comments? And if none, then can I get a motion?
Motion to adopt resolution 25-24, National Speech Pathologist Day as presented.
Thank you. It's been moved by Mr. Valencia and seconded by Mrs. Cordero that the Board of Education adopt Resolution 2524, National Speech Pathologist Day as presented. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cordero?
Aye.
Mr. Valencia?
Aye.
Mr. Hollinshead?
Aye.
Mr. Lara?
Aye.
Ms. Cabral?
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, congratulations.
Dear man, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Item E, adopt resolutions 2525, National School Nurse Day. Dr. McDuffie?
Thank you, President Cabral. National School Nurse Day, observed on May 6, 2026, honors the critical contributions of school nurses to the health, safety, and academic success of students. School nurses serve as the bridge between healthcare and education, ensuring that students are healthy, safe, and ready to learn. They play a vital role in managing chronic conditions, responding to medical emergencies, promoting wellness, and supporting mental and emotional health in the school setting. This resolution attached affirms the board's appreciation for the skill, compassion, and professionalism demonstrated by our school nurses every day. Their work supports not only individual student well-being, but also contributes to the overall health of our school communities.
Thank you. And can I get a motion?
I'll move to adopt resolution 2525, National School Nurse Day.
And I'll second.
Thank you. It's been moved by Mr. Hollinshead and seconded by Mrs. Cordero that the Board of Education adopt resolution 2525, National School Nurse Day as presented. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cordero?
Aye.
Mr. Valencia?
Aye.
Mr. Hollinshead?
Aye.
Mr. Lara?
Aye.
Ms. Cabral?
Aye. Motion passes. And item F, adopt resolution 2526, Classified School Employee Appreciation Week. Dr. McDuffie?
Thank you, President Cabral. The purpose of this resolution is to formally recognize the valuable contributions made by classified employees during Classified School Employee Appreciation Week, which will be celebrated statewide from May 17th through May 23rd, 2026. Classified school employees are vital to the operation of our school district. They serve in a wide variety of roles, including instructional support, office and clerical work, maintenance and operations, transportation, food services, technology, and student services. These individuals ensure that students learn in safe, clean, supportive environments and help keep the district running smoothly every single day. This resolution acknowledges their professionalism, dedication, and the essential role they play in supporting the academic and social success of students. By adopting this resolution, the board demonstrates its commitment to honoring and celebrating the work of the classified employees represented by the California School Employees Association, CSEA.
Thank you, Dr. McDuffie. Any questions or comments from the board? If none, can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion that the Board of Education adopt Resolution 25-26, Classified School Employee Appreciation Week as presented.
Thank you. It's been moved by Mr. Lara and second by Mr. Valencia that the Board of Education adopt Resolution 2526, Classified School Employee Appreciation Week as presented. Roll call.
Mrs. Cordero?
Aye.
Mr. Valencia?
Aye.
Mr. Hollinshead?
Aye.
Mr. Lara?
Aye.
Ms. Cabral?
Aye. Motion passes. Item G, adopt Resolution 2527, Day of the Teacher. Dr. McDuffie?
Thank you, President Cabral. Last but not least, our California Day of the Teacher observed today, May 13th, 2026, provides an opportunity to recognize and honor the profound contributions of teachers in shaping the academic and personal success of our students. Teachers play a pivotal role in cultivating curiosity, building critical thinking skills, and inspiring students to reach their full potential. The attached resolution expresses the board's gratitude for the dedication, creativity, and tireless efforts of our teaching staff who go above and beyond every day to meet the needs of their students and school communities.
Thank you. And thank you to all the teachers on your day today.
Thank you.
Any comments from our board or questions? Yes, Mr. Hollinshead?
I didn't know whether to say this now or maybe in our board reports, but I chose now. Typically, I'll go through something like saying all the teachers I had, or all the teachers my kids had in our district, just to make a note of the impact that people made on our family's life. But, there's a lot of, we hear a testimony to what a difference teachers made in a lot of prominent celebrities' lives, prominent public figures' lives, like Tom Hanks, Darren McDuffie, those kinds of things. And, I think, and I don't want to, this is meant to not trivialize it, but Day of the Teacher is kind of every day, right? And I know that that's maybe an overstatement or an obvious statement, but the thing that I want to impart to our teacher friends everywhere is that when a child comes to school, the focus of their day is that teacher. That teacher is the world to them. Their whole day revolves around them. When your kids come home, and we know this from our own kids, all of us that have children, they come home and guess what the topic of conversation is? Something that circles around what the teacher said or did that day. And almost exclusively it's positive, right? It's something that was positive. Maybe it was run of the mill that day, but somewhere along the line, it's going to make an impact on those lives. And it may not, and the thing that reminded me of this, and I'll wind it up, but is I received an email this week about a faculty member from my high school that's approaching his 47th year there. And he started when I was a junior in high school. Sorry, that's how long it's been. But I can tell you without a doubt in my mind that I could walk onto the campus and start a conversation with him or have a conversation with him like it had been the week before, like I'd seen him the week before. And that's the other thing, is that when children come back into our lives that we've connected with, and I'm sure Mr. Valencia and Mrs. Cordero can attest to this. It's a two-way street, right? They come back into our lives and we get to see either the fruits of our labor or how things have transpired over the course of when we last saw them. So, Day of the Teacher almost doesn't really do it, obviously, justice, but it's always Day of the Teacher every day. So anyways, that's my spiel.
You.
So with that, I will move to adopt Resolution 25-27, Day of the Teacher, as presented.
I'll second.
Thank you. It's been moved by Mrs. Cordero, seconded by Mr. Valencia, that the Board of Education adopt Resolution 25-27, Day of the Teacher, as presented. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cordero?
Aye.
Mr. Valencia?
Aye.
Mr. Hollinshead?
Aye.
Mr. Lara?
Aye.
Ms. Cabral?
Aye. Motion passes. Yay. All right. Next is item H, adopt Resolution 25-28, Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Dr. McDuffie.
Thank you, President Cabral. The attached resolution recognizes May as Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month and affirms the district's commitment to honoring AAPI contributions and supporting inclusive learning environments.
Thank you. And I think we can start with one paragraph down the.
Sure.
Whereas Asian American and Pacific Islander communities represent a diverse and vibrant population whose cultures, languages, and traditions contribute significantly to the social, cultural, and economic fabric of Santa Maria, the Central Coast region, and the United States. And
whereas AAPI individuals have made meaningful and lasting contributions across many fields, including education, agriculture, healthcare, public service, business, science, and the arts, enriching communities throughout California and within the Santa Maria Valley. And
whereas Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month is observed each May as a time to recognize, honor, and celebrate the contributions, resilience, and cultural heritage of AAPI individuals and communities. And
whereas the Santa Maria Bonita School District is committed to providing a safe, inclusive, and equitable learning environment that values diversity and ensures that all students, staff, and families feel respected, represented, and supported. And
whereas celebrating the AAPI Heritage Month provides meaningful opportunities for students and educators to engage in learning experiences that reflect the diverse histories and cultures that shape Santa Maria and the broader Central Coast. Whereas the district reaffirms its commitment to equity, inclusion, and the celebration of the diverse communities that strengthen Santa Maria and its schools. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Santa Maria Bonita School District hereby proclaims May as Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and that the district encourages schools to observe the month and through age-appropriate instructional activities, classroom lessons, performances, ensembles, assemblies, and community engagement that highlight AAPI histories, cultures, and contributions passed and adopted the 13th day of May, 2026 by the Board of Education, Santa Maria School District, Bonita School District. And so can I get a motion?
I'll make that the motion of the Board of Education adopt Resolution 25-28, Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month is presented.
I'll second.
Thank you. It's been moved by Mr. Lara and second by Mr. Valencia that the Board of Education adopt Resolution 25-28, Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month as presented. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cordero?
aye.
Mr. Valencia?
Aye.
Mr. Hollinshead?
aye.
Mr. Lara?
Aye.
Ms. Cabral?
Aye. Motion passes. Item I, West Ed PLC support. Dr. Salcido? Or surprise. Good evening.
You can tell I'm not a pro at this. Tonight, I'm requesting approval to renew our partnership with a contract with West Ed to continue supporting the implementation of our district-wide PLC work through the vital collaboration process. Over the past 3 years, we have intentionally phased this work across all 21 of our school sites. This gradual rollout really allowed us to build the capacity thoughtfully while maintaining consistency and quality across our district. This renewal supports 2 areas. The first area is to support the sites that have completed only their first year of implementation. The purpose for those sites is really to provide an additional year of coaching and guided support to help them deepen and sustain strong professional learning communities. Through this contract, those sites will receive 2 summer planning days with their school facilitator team, one before school starts and then one at the end of the school year. During those planning days, they'll be focusing on reflection, data analysis, and goal setting, as well as they'll have throughout the year 6 coaching cycles, which will include a day and a half each cycle. During these cycles, the West Ed coaches will work directly with the site PLC facilitators and teams to strengthen their facilitation skills, collaborative structures, and instructional coaching practices. In addition, the second part of this contract really reflects our long-term commitment to sustainability. West Ed will also provide 6 dedicated training days for our district and site coaches focused on building our internal capacity to support those PLC facilitators and coaching in-house over time. So in essence, that trainer of trainers model. This continued partnership allows us to strengthen collaborative instructional practices across our sites while intentionally building the systems and leadership capacity needed for long-term sustainability within our district. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
We received a revised insert for this item, and on the original and on the slide that you just had up, it had the cost being for $504,000, and it was revised to $449,000.
So one of the sites that is included in the school support has done a really phenomenal job, and they feel very confident in their work going forward without the second year.
Okay.
So we withdrew them from the contract, and that happened yesterday.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
Mr. Hollister?
In light of that or similar vein, what feedback have we received from sites, and in turn, how has that feedback shaped how we move forward with West Ed and what we're doing with them on an annual basis on the sites that are still participating?
The year one, or the sites that are coming in that are on the
Right. So
slide?
after year one, how do we digest and take in feedback from the participants, the teachers and what have you, so that we can make year 2, like what you're saying, maybe they drop out. How do we do that? How do we take that feedback and make it things more effective or a better partnership?
So there's a lot of conversation that happens within those facilitation teams on what's working well, where they feel they need that more, that deeper, long-term support. So that this first year they've been in there has really just been around the protocols and just kind of learning the systems. What the feedback we've gotten is that they need an additional year to really get to that deep, sustainable conversations that are really going to impact learning. So we receive feedback, one, from those teams, with those coaches that are working with them. They also do a survey at the end of the year. It's called the call survey. And so we're able to receive the feedback from them in that way also. Yeah. Mhm.
Any other questions? No? Can I get a motion? Yeah.
I'll move that the Board of Education approve the contract for West Ed PLC support as presented in the revised version.
Second?
Thank you. It's been moved by Mrs. Cordero, second by Mr. Hollinshead, that the Board of Education approve the contract for West Ed PLC support as presented. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Item 13, new business. Do we have any new business this evening? No. Mr. Lara?
I don't know if this new business, but if I can have it brought back at the next meeting or so. I was wondering about the water line going out to Bonita for the drinking water, where's that going right now? Update on that?
We can provide a update for that.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Good. Great. Item 14, Board Superintendent reports. Mrs. Cordero?
Thank you. It's been a pretty long time since we've had a meeting. I will just first comment on the PLC issue that we just approved. And I think I've mentioned before that over the past couple of years, I've had the privilege and time to be able to attend a number of the trainings and at some of the sites, observed/participated in some of their conversations, how they have done observations and the feedback and how it affects their planning process. So I would simply say from my own personal observations that with the consistent use of this practice, I truly believe it will have a significant impact on our student learning. And above any and all of the other things that are kind of in the works, I truly, truly believe that this is a piece that supports every teacher and will in turn support every one of our students. So whatever support we can give to that, whether we pay for it or if it's internal, I am in support of that. The second thing that I would like to comment on, and we did recognize all of our in-house students that will be graduating from the Cal Lutheran program. You know, we mentioned the Pathways to Teaching program, that this is now the third year that of its implementation. And the packet that we got with the information regarding the impact that it has had and how the process has been developed and so forth is very meaningful. But we really have not, in my opinion, celebrated the fact that the work that the two primary people responsible for this, Shelley Hart and Gabby Jimenez, went above and beyond to accomplish the accreditation of our program. So it is now approved at the state level and can continue. I don't recall hearing how long that accreditation lasts, but I do know because I'm on that committee that will be meeting again next Monday to finalize all of the TPAs and the other things that the new teachers need to do, that the work has been phenomenal. I've had interactions with a couple of different occasions with people from CalU, and they are very impressed with how things have happened here and how successful our teachers are becoming because of that. So a big, big shout out for that program and for not just Shelley and Gabby, but for everyone that really has worked so hard to support that program. So I have a list of about 12 different things in the last month or so that I've attended. Our County School Board Association meeting, our annual dinner, where we had the opportunity to visit the Chumash Museum prior to the dinner. We had our own Santa Maria Bonita School District Battle of the Books for both elementary and junior high students that was basically sponsored with the help of Santa Maria Bonita through our Altrusa group. I've been to a couple of meetings with the DLI group. There's last one next week. Unfortunately, I have a conflict, so won't be able to make that one. They had a fun run at Tunnel, and I went over there and helped for a while. It was a lot of fun. As we all know, there have been a variety of changes and challenges. So it was nice to be there and see teachers and students out there having such a great time. Last week, the week before, I don't remember, I went back to my home school, Ontiveros. The choir teacher that started when I was there 30 years ago had the last performance for her choir after 30 years, and she's been retired from teaching for longer than I have, is kind of letting go of the reins, and it was very bittersweet, but a lot of fun. I've made visits to Oakley and Jimenez to meet with their leadership students. I sat in on the mural presentation that Mrs. Beard made from Ariana's. I've been to a couple of volleyball games. Fessler had an avid recognition night, board policy meeting, LCAP meeting. Monday night was the spring cheer showcase, and as you saw from the Oakley group, they were enthusiastic, and I have to say it was a ton of fun to see the kids out there. And I mean, some of them were kind of little. I mean, so they're letting kids from, I think second grade was probably the youngest, but it was really, really a lot of fun. On a personal note, PCPA, Come From Away, was a fabulous presentation regarding true incidents that happened with some of our planes after 9/11. And this morning, both Dr. McDuffie and I were privileged to attend the police officers memorial, which always falls on Day of the Teacher. So it's kind of a dual kind of thing, but 12 officers were remembered today across California for their service and giving their lives for our country. That's it.
Just wanted to give a couple of shout outs to our staff. We get to see some of the cool pictures that take place. Like we saw some Cinco de Mayo celebrations at Sanchez. I know all of our sites do really, really great things. And I really want to give kudos to the staff for organizing those things. I saw some pictures of Fairlawn. I think they had a lowrider show there, which I think is so cool because when we think about a culturally relevant education, there's so many like wonderful aspects, to lowrider culture. So to have our young people be able to see those vehicles, to have some of our local car clubs partner with our school, just really grateful that our community is investing in our youth in that way, getting them excited about the beauty of our culture. And so I want to give a shout out to the staff at Fairlawn for doing that for our young people. I also saw in our reports that we now have a partnership where some of our local high school students that used to be Bonita students are now refereeing with our district sports programs. And we're seeing like some really positive results as a result of that partnership. So I want to thank our staff for coordinating those efforts. I want to thank the folks that manage our multilingual newsletter. It reminded us of some of the benefits that come with our dual language immersion program, and how it just like improves the health of our brains, and just makes us literally smarter and helps our brains age less quickly. There are just so many benefits that it's really nice to just be reminded of, of that. And many people in our community, right, are bilingual or even trilingual. So I want to thank the folks that manage the newsletter for putting that research out there for us. There was along in that newsletter, I believe, there was an interview with a teacher whose name is Carmen Bautista at Robert Bruce. And it was a really powerful interview. If you haven't had the chance to see it, I actually would recommend all of our staff to see this video, should Ms. Bautista be open to that, because she speaks openly about her experience as an Indigenous woman and the discrimination that she faced, as a young person here in our community. And it was really, really heartwarming to see, and I appreciate her vulnerability, sharing those stories because they're not easy. She talks about the challenges of being low income and how I believe it was an educator helped when they were struggling, with basic necessities like clothing, for example. So I'm really grateful for our staff, who I know see many needs with our young people and are often willing to meet those needs. So I just want to encourage all the staff to check out that video because I really think we all could learn a lot from it. I want to give props to our teachers for Teacher Appreciation Day, Teacher Appreciation Week. I agree with John that there should be Teacher Appreciation Year. But I guess I'm biased, because I'm a teacher myself. But I want to thank, all of our teachers for the hard work that you all do. I also was really excited to see our programming with Radio Ranchito, right? So the things we're doing with our Spanish-speaking media, I think that's a really intelligent way to reach out to our families, reach them where they're at. In the notes, it said that you can listen weekly to live sessions where we discuss a variety of educational topics for our district. Tune in on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. on Radio Ranchito, which is at 1600 a.m. And then now on Saturdays at 10 a.m. on La Buena 105.1 FM. So props to our teams for doing that. What a great way to reach our families while they're at work or doing other things. I also wanted to commend our staff for working with our PICA program. I know being at the high school level, how it helps prepare many of our families are first generation navigating our school systems. And so they don't always know how they want to help, but they don't always know how to help. And so I appreciate the work that PICA is doing to educate our families, to help them be better advocates for the education of their children. So I'm really grateful that we're investing in that program. And then lastly, I'm grateful that I was able to attend the junior high school art show at the library. Major props to our staff that coordinate that. I've been able to see that, I think, just the second or third year that I've been able to see that. And our young people are creating some amazing works of art. I've been to like many fancy museums. I've been to the Louvre in France, and our kids kick these artists' butt that are in the Louvre with these multi-million-dollar paintings. Nah, our kids should be selling their art for that. So major props to our arts, to our coordinators that work with our art programs, to our teachers, our young people. It never ceases to amaze me how intelligent and capable our young people are when we give them the tools, right, to be successful. So thank you to everyone, and I hope you all stay strong as we wrap up these last couple of weeks of school.
I did forget to mention that art show. And I went today because I won one of the piñatas. So I'm feeling pretty lucky. And it, like Mr. Valencia said, it was really, really good. The reef setup in the middle, it needs to be on display at some aquarium. It was wonderful.
Yeah, just, it has been a long time, but I'll keep it short. I attended the same Avid awards ceremony at Fessler that Mrs. Cordero did, and that was certainly a really wonderful evening to see the parents getting to celebrate their children and their children's participation in Avid. And I know that Fessler has a long-standing history of a really strong um, and robust Avid program way back from the days of Amy Lobsinger when my kids were there through to now, and it's been nationally recognized at times as well. And so, really kudos to the folks on that campus for really continuing to foster that culture and that serve that group of students so well. It's always fun to see people people you don't know, and the kids are the best part of, obviously, just engaging with them and hearing about what their dreams are and stuff. So it's fun to talk with them. Last night, I attended the PK graduation at Bonita School, which was awesome. As Mr. Valencia mentioned, he has an association with it at Santa Maria High School. And when my wife was on the board, we actually went to the first PK graduation I ever attended was over at Santa Maria High many years ago. Last night was no different. There were 40 parents there. It was a large contingent, all very proud and supportive of one another. Their kids were there running around and having fun at the same time. And the folks who came over from Bakersfield that were part of the PK group were super great as well. It was Mrs. Sperling, the principal, was able to answer questions that they had in regards to their students and their students' needs academically and what have you. And then in turn, Dr. Karamitsos got up and spoke admiringly about them and their dedication to their students and their families and her appreciation for their seeking out to learn more. And as a board member, I addressed them and acknowledged that same thing. And really just was able to enjoy their company and reinforce both what Mrs. Sperling and Dr. Karamitsos said. And also, again, the kids were the best part. I got to engage with those guys too. So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And neither do I, Dr. McDuffie.
Thank you, President Cabral, members of the board and our community. As we approach the finish line of the 25-26, is it 25-26? 25-26 school year. I want to take a moment to reflect on the connections we're building and the people who make this district thrive. First, last month, you mentioned this, board member Valencia. I had the distinct privilege of being interviewed on Radio Ranchito. This partnership between Multilingual Services and our local Spanish radio is a vital bridge for our district. We are dedicated to meeting our families where they are, sharing essential educational topics, and ensuring every parent knows the resources available to support their child's learning. And personally, it was a great opportunity for me to share a bit about myself, who I am, the role that I play, and most importantly, how our families can partner with us to help their students succeed. So I just want to give a special thank you to our family and community engagement team, specifically Alejandra Mesa and Cesar Ruiz, our interpreter, for their leadership in this partnership. and for making me feel so comfortable behind the microphone. Okay. Not that that's ever a problem, but um, also honoring our staff has been amazing. Like I said earlier, going out and I think I finished today giving and honoring teachers and classified staff with their anniversary pins. Whether it's 5 years, 10 years, 15, or 20 plus years of service, seeing the longevity of our team is a testament to their dedication. And it truly is an honor to look them in the eye and to sincerely thank them for the work that they do. It's not very often that they are able to see that. And so it really is awesome honor for me and privilege. And I talk about the May marathon. This is May, and finally, it takes an impact on us. It's the busiest month easily between state testing, promotion preparations at the junior high school, the endless stream of awards and ceremonies that we all attend. It can feel a bit overwhelming. But while the schedule's packed, these celebrations are the best way to understand the tangible impact each of you make, each of us make. Every award handed out and every promotion ceremony practice is a result of hard work done in the quiet moments of the year. Amidst the stress of testing and the end of the year sprint, I want us all to pause for a second, look at what we've accomplished, and simply say, we did that. 25, 26. We have navigated the challenges together, and we are seeing our students flourish as a result. So I want to thank our staff for their tireless energy this month, and we're almost there, and the finish line is paved with the success of our students. That's all I have.
Great, thank you. Next item, adjournment. The next regular board meeting for the Santa Maria Bonita School District will be held on Wednesday, May 27th, 2026 at 6 p.m. With no further business, may I get a motion to adjourn?